It's often said that the more you look, the clearer you see. This is why, while studying the fallout from July 31st, 2021, when the recently renewed saga of Bokola Saraki and the EFCC was reignited in the press, it has become clearer that the initial narrative that was spun on certain news platforms about a purported arrest of the former Senate president was concocted and amplified to fuel certain agenda. People must ask questions when they read and analyze the news. If Saraki was actually arrested by the EFCC, would he have gone home later that night? Is that really the style of EFCC, the action and the propaganda prone men and women that we have come to know, watch, and observe? Let's walk through the process. On the afternoon of Saturday, July 31st, Saraki was photographed with the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Musa Kankwaso, and former Deputy Senate President Ibrahim Mantu at the wedding celebration of the daughter of the former governor of Kwara State, Alhaji Shaba Lafiga. While the pictures were trending in the media, an online platform released a story that Saraki had been arrested. However, later that evening, videos and photos were circulated on social media of Saraki in his living room having meetings. Thereafter, his media office released a statement that stated that Saraki visited the EFCC office on his own volition to clarify any issue that the commission may want to raise with him. Many people have asked why. Some others have also said, who does that? Just before Saraki left the Senate, the EFCC, under the leadership of its then acting chairman, Ibrahim Magu, wrote to the clerk of the National Assembly requesting for the details of every money ever handled by Saraki's office, including the budgetary provisions, traveling expenses, the spending, the outgoing Senate president, emoluments, and other financial details that dealt with the office. This would have not been a problem in many institutions. However, the problem with Magu's request at the time is that it was only in respect of Saraki that such a detail was being requested. The then Deputy Senate President, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Deputy Speaker of the House did not receive such request. Only Saraki did, an indication that although Saraki's tenure was about to end, his problems with Magu would continue. As a result of this, Saraki went to the Federal High Court in Abuja under Justice Taiwo to state that his fundamental human rights were being trampled upon. Justice Taiwo then gave an order restraining the Commission and its agent from interfering with the plaintiff until the case had been determined. Following this action, the EFCC petitioned the Chief Judge against Justice Taiwo, stating that they were not happy with the injunction that he had granted. In what would be described as legal Gba'S on social media, Saraki also countered petition to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court. Subsequently, this back and forth led to Justice Taiwo rescuing himself from the case, and Justice Anwuli Chikere took over. Fast forward to July 14th. At a sitting of the Federal High Court in Abuja, the EFCC counsel Charles Okonkwo told the court that the injunction granted in favor of the former Senate President Bokola Saraki has been hindering their agency from probing him. As a response to this, perhaps due to the fact that Saraki has his sights set on higher targets and wants to retain his clean bill of health, with the agency, the former Senate President, through his lawyers, approached the EFCC to schedule a date and time when he could meet with any EFCC investigators to answer any questions on any issue that might be of interest to the agency. This is why, after the Lafigi wedding on July 31st, Saraki drove himself to the EFCC office and came back home later that evening, lending credence to part of the statement which was released by his media aide, Yusuf Olayonu, that Saraki was not arrested. With this being the case, it is clear that all the talks about Saraki's EFCC visit is being weaponized and are cheap political propaganda. This is reminiscent of the time when the federal government instituted a case against Saraki in the CCT, and the front pages of the newspaper were always covered with headlines from the sensationalized angle of the court proceedings. 3 years after that legal tussle, we all remember how that ended. The Supreme Court threw out all the charges based on their frivolosities. Saraki was acquitted. However, the media had already spun a narrative. This is why, in the run-up to the 2023 general elections, we all need to be skeptical and discerning about the weaponization of disinformation for political advantage. At this point, It is clear that some people are afraid of Saraki and want him silenced or subdued ahead of any formal declaration for the presidency. At this point, Nigerians are smarter and understand that the media trials and government-sponsored propaganda have their limits, and everyone will be judged by their own merits, not by the activities of any government-controlled watchdog. Mina, a lawyer, writes from Jos Plateau State. Politics is a game of interest, and definitely in Nigerian politics, the more you look, the less you see. So the news broke out. Saraki has been arrested. Saraki has been arrested. Shockingly, that evening he was back home, and his media aide put the statement again that Saraki was not arrested. He was the one who drove himself down to EFCC. But we can see that all of this is just they are all just a game plan ahead of 2023. These politicians, because of desperation, they can go any length, they can do anything. All that this lawyer has just written, the lawyer that has just written, Mina, is a lawyer, and just written all of this from Just Plateau State. All he's stating is that all of this were just a political drama, just to make the electorate see that the commission, that is EFCC, they are actually doing a great job. They're actually looking for the criminals. They're actually looking for corrupt persons, and they are clearing them. Because if EFCC actually had Saraki and they let him go, all that comes to mind is that the EFCC doesn't have anything against him. His hands are clear. Immediately that news broke out that Saraki has been arrested. Saraki is under investigation at the moment. Everyone is waiting to hear the take of this agency. But again, who controls this agency? President Muhammadu Buhari's government controls this agency. We remember how Ibrahim Magu was kicked out, with him crying out that what is happening to him is a case of dog eat dog. That tells us that the commission itself is not credible. We can't trust EFCC itself. That commission, it's a fraud itself. That is the truth of the whole thing. Well, if we look at things closely, there's something underneath that a sort of game that is being played out here. But the truth is that the electorate, they cannot be deceived. The electorate are wiser right now, and we see political calculations and manipulations. When we see them, we can identify them very closely. Well, guys, let's hear your thoughts on all that I've just been reading regarding this Saraki's Gba'S between himself and EFCC. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.